I've done. Born with a heart of stone, fast with a gun. I'm here to get mine, then I'll leave this town. If you're standing in my way, I'll cut you down. You can't stay.
Welcome, Gunslinger Outdoors. This is my father right here. I appreciate you being with Mom that day. That was nice.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd recommend it.
So, all right. Over time of the channel, people have been saying that, you know, the stuff that I use is expensive. Now, here's how I look at it. I look at it as you buy it once, it's good, lasts forever, call it a day. But not everybody can afford it, and I get that. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go over stuff that's pretty cheap but pretty good, or at least has lasted very well so far. So I'm gonna let you start off with what you think is out of this table here.
Yeah.
Which one do you want to start with on the table that you think has been just a great piece of equipment? I'll let you pick it.
For an everyday carry. Everyday carry knife.
Everyday carry knife.
What's the average guy have for an everyday carry knife? You can have a really expensive everyday carry knife.
Right.
I mean, and obviously that'll be very good.
It will.
But for the average guy who don't want to spend a lot of money and he's going to abuse the knife fairly heavily, is that necessary?
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll last.
A good knife's a good knife.
A good knife's a good knife. However, this was my everyday carry for probably 5-6 years.
Now what is that?
This is a Kershaw.
Okay.
This was a Walmart special.
Walmart special Kershaw.
Yep.
All right.
Nice knife. Metal's a little soft. It's Chinese made. All Kershaw design. Typical, you know, one-hand operation.
Yeah.
Holds a halfway decent edge. Not great, but I mean, you can keep it sharp if you take care of it.
Right.
Holds up, durable. If it had any failing, I would say it would be the joint becomes a little loose. You got to make sure you keep it tight so you don't have a lot of loss there. Is it a good everyday carry? This was like a $25 knife.
You can't complain at that.
And it's still good.
All right.
Currently, I'm carrying a buck.
A buck.
Not the most expensive buck.
Well, that's a $50 buck.
But
it's still, you know what? It's under 100
it's still
bucks.
under 100 bucks.
Yeah.
Much better steel.
Yeah.
Holds edge much better. And the joint's a bearing as opposed to just being a tightened down nut. Joint holds up better. You don't have to mess with it. It's a little smoother operation. Still one-handed. Good solid knife. Good everyday carry. A little bit more money. But it's an effective knife.
I love the bearing in that. The bearing system and the lightness of it.
It makes it feel better.
Really good in the hand.
Yeah, it's easier.
All right. Well, now you're speaking about buck. Now we're going to go the 119. The 119's probably been around for...
Dawn of man.
Probably the dawn of man.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, this is the older one. Everybody says the newer one's different than the older one. Now, from what I understand from buck, it's not. They're
As I can see, they're not. I mean, the steel seems to be the same, everything.
Right. I'll tell you what, I have beat the crap out of this knife. I have processed wood with it. It's been a great knife out in the woods. It's been an amazing knife out in the woods. Now, this isn't even a full tang knife. A lot of people don't even know that.
No.
But I mean, it is, but it goes into a circle.
It goes into us, yeah.
Now, Buck, I just talked to Buck. They're actually going to, they're over 80% American made now, and they're planning on going more American made by, I forgot what they said, but they're trying to get out of the overseas market. But they're still over 80% American made.
Well, so that's good.
You know.
Yeah.
Now, with the buck, now you carried a certain buck forever, my whole younger life. And that's the 110.
110.
Now that's my...
Great knife.
Right.
Great knife, brass bolster, very standard look. Long blade, love the way the edge looks on it.
Yeah.
It's got a great point. Heavy knife.
Tough though.
Heavy knife, take a beating. You know, it's a great knife, but it's not a knife you want to carry in your pocket.
I carry it all the time.
You can, but it's big. It's big and it's heavy.
Yeah, but that goes to the whole
You know,
Crocodile Dundee thing.
Yeah, it's
That's
big
not
and
a
it's heavy.
knife.
However,
Okay.
it's still a fantastic knife.
All right.
Well made, really tough. Like I say, the brass bolsters, it's got the standard.
But that's like a
real tough
staple
look.
of a buck. You
Oh.
have to admit.
Oh, been around forever.
Now that's my automatic. That's the one that automatic re-releases. But it's still the same premise. They just added the automatic.
It's the same knife
part.
with an automatic.
Well, we'll continue. You know what? We'll continue with buck.
673. Yeah.
This knife is like $25.
Yeah, cheap.
And I mean, the sheath is kind of but it's American-made knife, and it feels good in the hand. It's light, and I've beaten the crap out of this too, and it's held amazing.
Once again, it's good steel.
Right, it's not bad.
It'll hold an edge well. You
Right.
know, and it's not. There's not a bells and whistles to it. It's not.
No, it's just
not
a knife.
It's not the foo-fooed up knife. That's
That's
isn't
right.
that beautiful?
Right.
No, it's just a good knife. It's just
It
a
is a good
good,
knife.
solid, hard-working knife
All
at a
right.
super reasonable price.
It is.
You know.
It is. All right, we'll get off the knives now. Let's talk about the elephant in the room, because I'm sure people are seeing that. You can grab the little one. Hey, you can grab the big one. Jesus. All right. The elephant in the room. The good old
Yep.
Fiskers.
It's Fiskers.
axe. Now, people hate these. They hate them. And, they're not bad.
Well,
They're okay. They're not that great of steel.
it's
If
not.
I was going to have a complaint with them,
Yeah.
they're not that great of steel. Their edge retention is but my biggest complaint would be you can't replace the handles.
Nope.
But
On the other side of that, though, the
think
handles are incredibly tough.
they are, and I think they're lifetime warranty. I don't quote me on that, but I
Yeah,
think
but
they are.
I never knew whose lifetime that was.
Well, it might be somebody's.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I hope it's someone's really young.
You got to keep the receipt you bought back 10 years ago. Keep that receipt.
Yeah, which is on, it's on fax paper, and so it's invisible
Right.
by now.
No, it's not. All right, it's not like my console tool axe or anything like that. But this is like $30, and that axe is like $130. So
Well, you get what you pay for in some respects, but for $30, that's a heck of an axe.
it's been great, and the bigger one, that's been a great chopper. Man, it does the job. And people hate these. Actually, I shouldn't say that. There are people out there that you either love them or you hate them. I mean, there's really no in-between guy.
It gives that kind of response to
It
people.
does. But as I have beat the crap out of this thing, and I beat the crap out of both of
They're
them.
tough. They take a beating,
Yeah, absolutely.
Do they get a point? Yeah, if all I can afford is a $25 axe.
Well, yeah, but you know what?
But I want something that'll still work.
What I'm getting at is backpacking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you're a beginner backpack, a lot of these guys, man, they're buying these, you'll get the seasoned trail guy or the seasoned bush guy, and they'll be like, you have to have this or that. If you're just starting out, it's not bad.
For a startup system,
It's
this is
not
a
bad.
good way to go.
You're not.
When you're really into it and you're ready, you got the money to buy something better or move up, you can always move up.
Right, but it'll still get you out there and do
But
what it's
this will
gonna
get
do.
you up to everything you need to do.
That's right.
You know.
All right, you know what? And speaking of that, let's go to this one. This is the good old Bahco. All right. Again, hit or miss with people. Now, I actually love these. I do. Now, I have the different name ones, the Silties. I have all them. But this has been a great little unit for me. And they make the replacement. They make all that. It's real light. I mean, it folds up. And it's a little bit more forgiving, I think.
Well,
the
steel will bend a little bit, and
Yeah.
you're not as apt to break it.
But for the price point, they're hard to beat. I mean,
No, it's a reliable piece, and it's for what you do with it too. I
Well,
mean, when
yeah.
you're
but you're going to be out and about with it.
Yeah.
And I mean, bushcraft guy or something like that. These work great. I mean,
Yeah.
they really do.
Yeah.
Do they cut as fast as the good ones? No. I mean, well, I shouldn't say the good ones. Do they cut as fast as, the more expensive ones? Probably not. But there again, I don't know.
It's going to be close. It's going to depend on how you're using it too,
Correct.
and what you're cutting.
Correct.
So,
but again, Bahco, people, they love them or they hate them. But there are the middle guys with these. It's not like
that
Fiskers
doesn't
where-
have as much of the.
the hate.
It's not so much yes or no. It's more,
right.
Yeah.
There's people that, but everybody pretty much. knows
Everybody
about
goes,
that.
well, yeah, these are okay.
Right. Right. So let's go on to, you know what? Why don't you grab that right there? That's one of the cheapest things that you can buy. It's paracord.
Obviously.
But you know what? You
And
know how
it's
many-
orange.
Hey,
So.
that's so it doesn't get
So
shot.
you won't lose it.
No, it's so you
No,
don't get shot.
you don't
In hunting
shot.
season?
Yeah, well,
that or so you don't clothesline yourself.
Of course, I often don't run out and try to,
run some paracord.
yeah, I'll run a little paracord out just for the heck of it. Just,
Well, yeah, but you
know.
won't clothesline yourself either.
That's
It's,
true. That's
You know,
yeah.
not good for hiding.
No.
Not good for hiding.
No.
You know what? It's often overlooked. It's really cheap. You throw it in your pack,
It's something to have. It's cheap. And it works.
and it's great. So people often overlook that. Let's go with flashlights. Now this is the USB charged Bushnell, and I've had this about 2 years. And
Excellent flashlight.
You can get them at Walmart,
Mm-hmm.
and they're not necessarily cheap either, but
No.
they're not expensive.
And
you know-
Bushnell's a good, reliable name. They're not.
Well,
No.
this one sure the hell has. But I mean, is Bushnell like a surefire? No,
No.
but it doesn't cost as much.
And I
as
have many
Surefire.
Surefires.
Well, but it doesn't cost as much
But
as a Surefire.
They're real proud of Surefire.
They are unbelievably
Very
proud
proud.
of Surefire.
Very, very proud.
Now Bushnell, this one and my headlamp, both USB charge. They last forever.
Yeah.
I really don't think you can go wrong with these. They're cheap, you know.
Cheap. They
but-
work. The lights come on. Yeah.
But let's say that, you know, the $70, $80 flashlight's too much. Now recently, about 3 months ago, I went to Harbor Freight and I got the Quantum. Also
and
USB.
who don't know that name?
No.
Wait. No. Well,
Everybody
some
goes to
people,
Harbor
yeah.
Freight knows
Everybody
that
goes
it's
to
the
Harbor Freight.
Quantum.
Knows it. Never mind.
But it's a pen light. The pen light is also USB, and you know they're pretty good. They last a long time. They're pretty bright. I don't know about the reliability. I haven't had it long enough to know about the reliability. But I mean, obviously, it's a lot lighter than this one. It's not as tough, but you
Doesn't
know,
have the same kind of armor coating either.
right?
Obviously.
But it's probably half the price. All right, and it works great. It really does work great. Now, with the USB, because I know a lot of guys are going nuts right now, sitting there saying, "Well, you know, the battery, you just carry a couple batteries, you're fine." But why don't you just get a charge box? That's another thing. They're really cheap. They're everywhere.
Everybody makes one.
Right, and you could
From
probably
with-
charge.
with
They make
sol-
the
with solar panels, with everything. Yeah.
with the flashlight,
Mhm.
which I don't know why you're grabbing a charge box for the flashlight, but hey, whatever.
Hey, you might need one.
Imagine wearing a charge box on your head.
Seems kind of silly.
I mean you could, but anyway, this one right here would probably charge all them flashlights probably like 8 times.
Yeah.
You know what
yeah,
I
A
mean?
good charge pack will do that.
And
like we were saying, they come with the solar panels or whatever. You
Right.
can get all the different.
but they're
variations.
relevantly cheap,
Yes.
and they're not heavy, so it's not going to add a lot to your pack.
Nope. And
All
it's
right.
something you probably should always have.
Well, especially with cell phone technology
You know.
nowadays, you know.
Yeah.
Another thing I'm going to mention though is military surplus.
Oh,
Why does everybody forget military surplus?
military surplus got a bad name as being leftover junk, which it wasn't,
Well, that's true.
but it got that
That's
reputation
true.
for a while.
I actually have heard that. You know, it's
No.
heavy, it's leftover
Yeah.
junk, blah,
Yeah,
blah, blah,
yeah,
blah,
yeah.
blah.
The reason they don't use it anymore is because it's not good.
Yeah, well, they came out with better or
Well,
whatever.
yeah, well-
Like this thing right here. This is, I get a question because in the beginning of, you know, in our introduction or intro, it shows this tent in the snow. It's the USMC Combat Tent by Diamond Brand, which Diamond Brand's a USA made
Yeah,
company.
it's a USA
I think
company.
Eureka also made a version of that. I'm pretty sure they did. But this tent has been in a foot of snow. It's never collapsed. It's got dock aluminum poles. Everybody asks me what that tent is.
Yeah.
And you can find these for about, I don't know, 82, and I've seen them as much as like $280. You know, people price gouging. But for $80, you can't. There's no way you could beat
Yeah,
that tent.
$80 for an all-around
Right.
all-weather tent. It's not a bad deal.
It's 4 season, the whole 9, and it's tough as hell. I mean, it really is. Now you got the stakes, the military stakes, often overlooked, they're not really that heavy, and they take abuse.
Well, they can
no
be
end.
hammered on, and not. They don't all bend to pieces when you hammer on them.
No, I'm not talking about hikers. There's no way a hiker's carrying it.
Yeah.
But you get my point. Now,
Yeah.
another thing, my ILBE pack, a pack that is this good, I can't even imagine what the military paid for this when they made it. It had to be ridiculous.
It's right up there with the $200 toilet seat.
It might be
Yeah.
right there. But this thing, you can find these from anywhere between, I've seen them as low as 90, and I've seen them as high as 400. But again, that's know what you're buying and know where you're looking. But I'm sorry for, you know what? I'm going to go as far as for $200. How could you beat this pack? This thing, I mean, it's got all the back bracing and the pad.
It's made to work.
It
That's the
is
difference.
Unbelievably made to work. I've had like 50 pounds in this thing. Walking around, it was actually pretty comfortable. So, it's big. It is big, you know.
Well, yeah.
But what I was trying to really do was, you know, yeah, you can buy the good stuff, and it is good. There is no doubt about it. But there is a way to get pretty good stuff cheaper.
There's a pretty good way to get good stuff that's functional cheaper. That'll do the job for you.
But like the 119, nobody is ever going to tell me the 119 is a bad knife.
No, you'll hear a lot of guys say there's better. That's not the words.
Right, but you're talking about what, $55, $60?
Oh yeah.
And come on.
Excellent.
It is. It's an excellent knife.
Now,
you know,
if you want a knife to have it down your hip, that's not a bad knife to have.
That is definitely not a bad knife to have. Another, this is a Whoopee, U.S. military Whoopee. These things are great, warm as hell for being as thin.
Use them for everything. Yeah.
So, we hope you found this enjoyable. We know that the world's kind of messed up right now, and we hope everybody's staying safe out there. And just keep your heads up, and hopefully this will pass soon enough. I don't, you know, like I said, we really hope that everybody's feeling good out there.
Yeah. Take care. Stay safe with each other. And
right? Is that social distance? We're not social distancing.
I don't know. You're kind of close.
Right
I don't
now.
know. I'm a little.
All right.
I'm a little disturbed.
So,
but I'll be okay.
From Gunslinger Outdoors, our family to yours, please stay safe and have a good one.
Take care.
I'm your Huckleberry.